Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Special warm welcome if you're brand new here. My name is KiwiSimsKate, Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love The Sims, and Kate because that's my name. It's as simple as that. Today I'm bringing you a new speed build, which is another family home. I'm really enjoying my family homes at the moment. But this one's for a special collaboration, and this is a collab that's specifically for a fall or autumn themed save file. And the save file was put together by an amazing, wonderful builder, Sims creator, online, I would say friend of mine, Michaela Sims. She's amazing. She spreads loads of positivity over Twitter, and you can find her builds on Instagram, obviously on the gallery as well. And just a builder that I really admire. She makes amazing builds in The Sims, and I was very, very happy to get the message from her to ask if I would like to be a part of the save file. And of course I said yes, even though when she described the save file to me, she said it was, autumn themed, because of course the Northern Hemisphere is going into autumn now, but I am in New Zealand, so we're going into spring. We are the exact opposite down here in the Southern Hemisphere, but it doesn't matter. I think Michaela Sims is a great builder. I knew that she would be putting together an amazing bunch of people to create the save file with, so I did not want to miss out, and of course I said yes. So I am bringing you an autumn themed build, an autumn family home. I built it in Brindleton Bay and Henford-on-Bagley, so the cottage living world and the cats and dogs worlds. And it's using all the packs, so every build, none of the builds have got kind of restricted items. Potentially some of the other builders built restricted homes, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to link in the description the save file where you can download it if you want to get the whole save file. Otherwise, if you also want to just get select builds, you want to kind of pick and choose which ones you add to your game, everything on the gallery should be under the hashtag sweater weather, or TS4 sweater weather. Again, I'll put all those details down in the description as well so you can find it easily. My build is also there, obviously, so you can get that on its own, or you can download the whole save file from Michaela Sims. Either way, the group is amazing. All the builds are incredible. I've had a look through them, and they're all a lot of fun. There's some community lots. There's some residential homes. I believe some people have even redone some townies, potentially. And there's also some new households as well that people have created. For this home, I didn't create a specific family or group of Sims. I just did the home, so move in whatever sim you would like in here. I also knew I wanted it to be a family home for kind of a young family. So the rooms that I've created, I wanted to decorate them for some younger Sims. There is one room for an infant. Then there's two other children's bedrooms. One has, actually two of them both have two single beds in the rooms, but you'll see near the end when I get to the kind of more pink themed room that I've just merged the two single beds. So I thought that room would be for a tween, and then also the blue room would be potentially for two children. So I haven't decorated any of the bedrooms for like older children Sims, but that's easy to change. And then the main bedroom, the primary bedroom, is downstairs on the ground floor, and I've also included an additional infant's crib in there as well. So my idea was that the infant has its own room, but also sometimes sleeps in the parents' room. but it is an additional bed, so you could just have 2 infants if you wanted, or change the infant's room to another child's bedroom, a toddler or something like that. So that's kind of the gist of how big this build is. And then I wanted to have a lot of fun with autumn themed decorations. So I put loads of pumpkins everywhere and a bunch of like the wall decorations that are kind of orangey, yellow, red, slightly Halloween themed. And the backyard was really fun too. Another thing I wanted to try, which I haven't really used a lot of the items already, was using the some of the fun outdoor items that we got with that kids pack. What was it called? It was called like backyard. No, it was a kit that we got, and it came with the outdoor cinema and the outdoor kind of rug and the tent and all of that kind of stuff. So I hadn't used the outdoor cinema in a build before, and I wanted to utilize that. And I thought because there was so much space for kids in this build, it would be the perfect home to add those to. Now I'm getting the exterior done here. I end up picking out this dark wood, what do you call that wood style? It's kind of not shingles, because that's sort of more tile. I always forget the name of it. Anyway, the ground floor is that dark wood tone, and the upper floor is this nice bright yellow. I'm pretty sure I used the horizontal siding that came with Growing Together. I used a lot of Growing Together items in this house. I thought it just really worked for family coziness feel. And then I used the brick that's also from Growing Together I think I used the platform trim from Growing Together, and I used the siding, the brick for the chimneys, and for one side of the house where the master bedroom is, the primary bedroom is. And then in order to pick out the deciduous trees that turn these beautiful colors in autumn in the game, you actually have to build from, like, with a sim on the lot. It's kind of annoying that we can't change the weather in just regular build mode. Like if you go into build mode straight directly from the main menu, you can't change the season. But if you go in with a sim, and then you can always, cheat the money or something afterwards, and then go into build mode, you can obviously then use cheats to change the weather and the I'm having trouble with my words today, the season as well. So in order to get this as autumn themed as possible, I did it that way, so I could pick out the most autumn looking trees and plants and things, because there are some that are more evergreen in the game, so they wouldn't look as cool if you were in autumn in the game. They would just obviously stay green, and that's not the point of this save file. So I did it this way. I also play around with a couple of different designs at the front of this house here. I knew I wanted this front porch with some stairs leading up to the front door, because I wanted to put loads of pumpkins everywhere out the front. It's not really a thing that we do here in New Zealand. Even Halloween, like people celebrate Halloween, but not to the extent that they do in the States or in some other places around the world. It's sort of, kids might do it for fun, and yes, you can get Halloween decorations in, quite a few places, but it's nowhere near as big as it is in some other places. So yeah, this is fun because it's kind of like these are the houses that I see growing up in, American movies and TV and stuff like that. So I took a little bit of inspiration from that kind of stuff, movies that I grew up with. I kind of wanted to build the house from Halloween, but it's a little simple, and I wanted something maybe a little bit different. So I kind of took the front as a bit of inspiration, and then I worked off a couple of other Pinterest homes that I found, but there wasn't really one home that I tried to mimic. I took a couple of them and took elements from different builds. So the front porch from one, and then up the top, when you can see me on the second on the top floor there, I didn't like how it was looking a bit flat up there, so then I ended up creating a couple of these kind of bump out dormery type areas, which gave the house a little bit more dimension. And then I do something that I don't often do. I think I've talked about it in my builds before, where I tend to build the exterior of the home, decide like windows, doors, sidings, that kind of thing, the roofing, and then I move straight to the interior and finish the whole house, and then I come to the landscaping at the end. This time I did it something a little bit different, again because I wanted it to look very obviously autumn from the front of the house. I wanted it to scream autumn, not just tap you on the shoulder lightly and tell you it's autumn. I wanted it to like scream in your face, hi, it's autumn time. So I thought the front of the build was really important to do that. And then the interior, I just sort of decorated it cozy with a few autumny Halloween decorations. But the front, I needed it to stand out as autumn. So I did the landscaping out the front at the beginning of the build, which is very unlike me. I used tons of these pumpkins. If you're wondering where all these pumpkins are from, a lot of them are actually from the debug menu, but not all of them. Debug or live edit menu. And they're across, I think they're from 3 different packs. So the really giant ones, the sort of lying on their sides, they're my favorite. They are from Cottage Living. And then the sort of harvest basket thing, I think almost like a Thanksgiving decoration, I think it's supposed to be, is from Seasons. And then I think some of the other pumpkins are from Seasons potentially. And then of course Spooky Stuff is where the other pumpkins are from. And we got quite a few different pumpkins from that pack that are carved like jack-o'-lanterns with different types of faces. But for the front of the house at least, I turned most of those faces around because I didn't want it necessarily to be like Halloween decorated, but I wanted it to be autumn decorated. So I use a few of the jack-o'-lanterns inside, just a couple, but primarily I used the more plain pumpkins around the place so that it was a bit more usable for anyone, even if you're not a Halloween person yourself. And then I moved to the interior. So I landscaped the front of the house because I wanted that to scream autumn, as I said. But the landscaping for the back of the house actually does come at the end. And then I move inside here. So I'm just picking out some wallpapers. I was kind of trying to use a few things that I don't often use in this build. Lately, I've been trying to do a lot of that and seeing how I feel once they're in. I'm a bit of a creature of habit, and I'm trying to branch out and try different items and wallpapers and colors that maybe I wouldn't normally use. So I did pick out a few wallpapers that I've either never used or very rarely used. So I think it's like called Louis the 16th, or I don't know, this wallpaper that I use in the office, the front office and the living room is, I think, a wallpaper I've never used before. It's just quite ornate. It would be great for like a vampire's house or something, but I don't normally use it. It just feels like the trim at the bottom is great, but the trim at the top I often feel is just a bit much for the houses that I build. But I made it work in here, I think, and I kind of liked the green color. I wanted this house to feel lived in, really comfy, really homely, and a little colorful as well. So not too monotone. Again, that's kind of a habit of mine, is that I do like to sort of build matchy and quite simple colors, whites and creams, and soft palette. So I wanted there to be some more kind of rich colors, rich oranges, warm brown tones, all of that kind of thing. In this entrance area, which I've just finished, I used a base game tile. I love that tile so much. And just a few objects that make it look like this family kind of throws everything down when they come in through the door, or grab stuff as they leave quickly. And then this staircase, rest in peace, beautiful staircase. I built this, and it took me a little while to figure out what I was doing with this platform, using 2 separate staircases to make this little L-shaped staircase. And obviously you can build an L-shaped staircase normally with one staircase object in The Sims, but I wanted to try this platform trick that I've seen a few people do. But what I didn't realize is you can't actually build it with a 1x1 tile platform like I've done here. So I love the look of it, but unfortunately, when I go to playtest this build, I have to change it completely, and I have to revert it right back to a simple straight staircase. So I was really, really disappointed about that. I could have made an L-shaped regular staircase, but it just it didn't work for the room, and I just went back to a straight staircase. But I was really disappointed I was not able to make that platform work. If I had more space, I could make that type of staircase work with a bigger platform in the middle of the stairs. But I don't know, maybe I wasn't doing it right, but I couldn't see a way that I could make a 1x1 platform workable and usable with playtesting. So let me know in the comments if you've made it work and how you've made it work. I was not able to do it. And speaking of things I had to adjust, there are a few things. When I went to playtest this home, I thought I did really well when I built it in terms of considering the playability, but it turns out there were a few things I needed to adjust, which is a bit frustrating, but nothing that changes what you see here too much. I think the staircase is the most noticeable. You may not notice anything else. The other things are just kind of small adjustments I make here and there. One of the other ones is that in a moment out the front here, I put one of those spooky day candy buckets or candy bowls by the front door, and I place it onto a little stool, the stool that we got with Jungle Adventure, or the side table thing. And I thought it looked really cute and a little bit rustic. And then when I play test it, it doesn't work. So I have to put the bowl on a different, I think I switch out the table that it's on. And I just, use a different table and place the bowl down without having to lower it. And then my sim can finally use it. So, little details here and there, which may not be noticeable, but I thought I would just warn you in case you download this build and you're like, Kate, this doesn't look anything like you've built in this build. I swear it does look 95% the same. There are only some minor adjustments. What else can I say about the front of the house? The other thing that I didn't realize, which was really frustrating, and they look great for the screenshots, but then you are going to probably want to change this when you get to play with the home, is that those piles of leaves that I pulled out of the live edit or debug menu that are like fallen leaves, when you play, after a day or two of playing with this build, they start to stink and go rotten in that. So you actually have to have your sim clean them up. And that was a real shame. And I did wonder whether or not I should just take them out of the build. But I just think they look so good to begin with that I kept them in. So they are there. If you download this build and play with it, you yeah, we'll notice that those leaf piles start to get kind of stinky green smoke coming off them. But I made the executive decision that it was worth it. It looked way cooler with the leaves there than without. So, yeah. Happy leaf cleaning. And then I've just talked right through the living room, but I basically have finished the living room. I knew I wanted a fireplace. Obviously, if it's autumn, it's starting to get a little chilly outside. And I placed more pumpkin decorations and more wall decorations, flags and little paper kind of crafts and stuff. Couple of sofas, some kids clutter as well. So as I said, I wanted this house to look very lived in, like the kids are, busy making holiday crafts and, doing their homework out in front of the television. And then the kitchen here is much bigger than I kind of expected. So there's quite a bit of space here. If you do want to change anything around, there's loads of space to do something different with this area if you wanted. But I've placed a whole dining table here, which I sort of think of as like more of a breakfast table or informal dining. And then you've also got the stools at the island counter in the kitchen, and then additionally you've got a formal dining room as well. And I will say the formal dining room is maybe my least favorite room in this build. I don't know what it is about it, but I was kind of disappointed and I ended up sort of giving up on adjusting it because I wasn't sure how to make it any better. So it's not my finest work, but I just sort of had to leave it. Otherwise, I was just struggling. So I just thought, okay, it sort of works. It's functional, but I like every room, like even the hallway, I prefer to the dining room. So that was a bit frustrating. I wish I had a bit more inspiration for the dining room, but I don't know what it was about it. I found it really difficult to furnish and find something to use in there. Partly, maybe it was because I was trying to use items I hadn't used before. I don't know. I also have all your sort of basic appliances in the kitchen here. So I added a dishwasher as well as the necessities. And then I added the ice cream maker, which I never ever add in builds. And I thought it was a cute little touch. It obviously comes in this really cool orangey yellow swatch, which is the color scheme I'm kind of going for. And I thought it was nice in this sort of a build to have more small appliances and activities and things for your family to do together. So maybe they have ice cream night in front of the television or something. And because this is such a kid-friendly focused build, I thought ice cream was a good option to add. I actually originally thought I was adding the popcorn maker, and then when I went to play test it, I realized I added the ice cream maker. So, so I think either one would work just fine for a kid's build. And then here's me doing the dining room, which I really struggled with. Maybe it's because I started with this kind of mint green wallpaper, and in hindsight, maybe I should have picked something different. But once I decided on the mint green wallpaper for whatever reason, I struggled with the rest of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I had this hutch in here too, and then thought I could use that extra space beside the hutch I could fill that with the some of the wine decorations, or it's not wine in the game, it's nectar, the nectar barrels that we got with Horse Ranch expansion pack. And then I move on to the office. Now the office I much prefer. I do really like this room. I like the color scheme that I went for. I went for this sort of beige and dark brown with pops of green. So I use one of my favorite rugs in the game, which is this square with rounded corners, kind of foresty green color. And then I match it with a high school year's chair, desk chair, which is that Art Deco one, but I really love it in that green swatch. And then just clutter up the desk and put a chess table in there for your Sims to have some more activities. I wanted this build to have loads of activities, so there's lots of stuff in the backyard to do, there's lots of stuff inside, tons and tons of possibilities. You know, your Sims will not get bored, that's for sure. They'll have loads of stuff to do at home. This is the main bedroom, master, primary, whatever you want to call it. Which is the only bedroom that's on the ground floor. And again, I went for really warm tones of colours, and I clutter up the room a little bit. Definitely the surfaces. So this dresser here under the window, I put loads of stuff on, and then I pull out a bunch of things that I know I want to use somewhere, but I sort of shift them around a bit because I thought the dresser was getting maybe a little too cluttered. And I move them to like the side tables on beside the bed. This bed is from Dream Home Decorator. I really love it. I love the shape. And this color, I don't know if I've used this color before, but I thought it was a very nice autumn purpley pink, you know, just kind of, it feels warm. And then I also have the infant's items in this bedroom as well. Because when I was thinking about putting the main bedroom downstairs, and then I was thinking to myself, well, I want to add an infant in the game. If I just had an infant bed upstairs, that would probably be a bit of a pain for the parents because they would have to keep going upstairs to take care of it, put it back in its crib and bring it downstairs. So like many people do when they've just had a new baby, I've put a crib in their bedroom, so if they want to just use this one and maybe move them into the upstairs bedroom when they get a little bit older, they can do. And I managed to squeeze not only a crib but also the changing table down here too. So there's a changing table and a crib in the master bedroom, but also in the infant's room upstairs as well. And I thought it kind of fit with the theme of the whole house. You know, it's a very practical home. There's a lot of stuff that has been placed out of kind of more necessity, and then rather than having things absolutely perfect around the place. Downstairs, there's an ensuite to the master bedroom as well, which I've skipped that footage. Because it's pretty basic and I didn't want this build to be, the video to be too long. So I skipped that one and just showed you the laundry toilet downstairs. And now we've moved upstairs to the main family bathroom. So I kept this one in, but I took out the ensuite. Speaking of footage that's not in this video, there is a bedroom coming up soon that I forgot to record for. I can't believe I did that. I don't normally forget to hit record, but I was recording and sometimes I pause to do something else so that when I come to edit, it's much faster. I don't have too much to have to cut out, too much sort of dead footage. So I had it on pause and I was doing something else. And then when I came back to go build again, I forgot I had it on pause, or I don't know. I didn't unpause it. And so I didn't capture me building or furnishing most of the last bedroom that you'll see. So I'm sorry about that, but rather than have to go back and refurnish the home and have this video come out later and all of that stuff, I thought the best thing to do would just be to give up and apologize and you know, you get the idea. Once we see the bedroom, which is the kind of pink themed bedroom, I don't think it really matters too much. I don't know. What would you rather see? Let me know in the comments if you would rather see absolutely everything, or you enjoy these videos more as kind of an overview and getting a general gist of what the build is. So the infant's room was just a moment ago. I definitely went for color themes in these kids' rooms. I had so much fun choosing colors and really trying to stick to those themes. So with the infant's room, I went for a brown and green. And then this room here is my favorite in the whole house. I guess other than the backyard. I really love the backyard too. But this kids' room with the 2 single beds and the blue and everything, I adore it so much. I think it turned out so well. And then this is the pink room that I was just telling you about. So I completely missed capturing most of this bedroom, I'm afraid. So when we flick to this bedroom, it's mostly furnished already. I used the puppet theatre, which I always forget about, and I thought it worked really well in that little corner of the room. And then I pushed 2 single beds together to make a kind of a double as opposed to a queen or a king bed. So in my mind, it's just for a single sim, that room, but obviously there's 2 beds. So if you wanted to move them apart slightly, you could easily fit 2 sims in there, and that would make it big enough for could be like an 8 sim household, because there's the parents' bed, the parents' bed downstairs, 2 infants' cots, 2 children's beds in the blue room, and 2 children's beds in the pink room. So you could have 8. You could have the maximum number of sims in here if you want. I always get stressed playing with like more than 3 sims, so you know, it's up to you. It's your choice. Here's the backyard. As I said, I had a lot of fun decorating this. It feels very American movie or TV show to me. This is not what homes normally look like in New Zealand. That's kind of, the vibe I was going for. A couple of things I had to change here, which I'll just warn you about. There was a beautiful big tree that I had in this corner down here where that ends up being over the top of the fire pit. When I go to play test it, this tree with the red leaves, oh my god, it's gorgeous. And you might have noticed that the footprint of the tree is large, like the green, you know how you have the grid underneath an object that tells you kind of how much space the object needs for a sim to interact with it. That was really, really big, and I kind of didn't take that into consideration when I placed the tree. It didn't really register to me because I just figured, oh, it's a tree, the sims can get near it. I didn't even think about it. And then when I went to play test it, my sim couldn't use the fire pit, and it took me forever to figure out that the problem was the tree, not where I'd put the fire pit, not any of the bushes beside it or the fencing or anything else. I thought it was something else, and I kept moving everything, and I changed the fire pit like a million times. And then eventually I realized it was just that damn tree. So the screenshots will be here shortly, and if you want to download this build, my gallery ID is KiwiSimsKate, and you can find this build and all of my others there. If you enjoyed watching this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe if you're not already. Hit that bell because you'll get notified when my next videos come up. And if you want to follow me on other channels as well, I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate. We do some gameplay, we do some building, we even play other games sometimes other than The Sims. Shocking, I know. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care out there. Bye.